was in a lose-lose situation. Now, what came out still on top. With Floyd? You said, what was the lose-lose situation? What you mean? This little situation that he put me in to, make me lose.
Talking about what Floyd trying to do. Gervonta Davis talking about Floyd trying to make him leave his...
Chaos erupted at a busy airport when Gervonta Davis reportedly confronted Floyd Mayweather in a tense face-to-face moment. Surrounded by his wife and bodyguards, Mayweather appeared caught off guard by the sudden encounter. The standoff quickly drew attention from stunned onlookers as both camps stood their ground, creating an atmosphere thick with tension and unresolved emotions.
All that bullshit.
Yeah.
Rumors have been circulating that Floyd Mayweather is secretly training Lamont Roach, Gervonta Davis's upcoming opponent. Whether true or not, the speculation has already struck a nerve in the boxing world. For Davis, this bout feels more personal than professional. The idea that his former mentor might now be aiding his rival feels like a betrayal that cuts deeper than any punch thrown in the ring.
You know what y'all think I'm doing? I go there for a reason. I'm security recording.
Over the years, Mayweather's actions have sparked growing doubts about his true intentions with Davis. Though he's offered public praise and support, there have been moments, like when he allegedly shared insights about Davis's fighting style with rival Frank Martin, that raised serious questions. Given how well Floyd knows Davis's strengths, it felt like a strategic sabotage wrapped in friendly words, revealing that their mentorship may have always had conditions.
Young fighters, he loves to embrace guys, so what was being around talking to Floyd? Like, what has Floyd taught you about fighting, and has it made you a better fighter? Because he could tell me all day to do that shit he does. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what does being around a guy like Floyd do for you?
He could tell you, go run at 2 in the morning. Go do it when, because 9 times out of 10, we know your opponent sleep at that time. So go run at 2 in the morning and go give yourself a mental edge, because you out there working every night at 2 in the morning running. That's a lot of the times your opponent sleep. It could be little things that'll take you to the next level. That Floyd, a person like Floyd, like if he tell you that, you gonna take a lot of heave to it, and it's gonna give you a different type of motivation when you doing it. He could show you something, and it could be the same thing. You might not be able to do it like him, but just it coming from him, it'll give you like a different type of feel about yourself.
Hold up, limitless, niggas to me cap pinning it.
The emotional toll on Davis was undeniable. He had long seen Floyd as more than a promoter, he was a trusted guide. But the thought that Mayweather might now be working against him hit hard. This wasn't just a professional rift, it was a deeply personal wound. Realizing that someone who once helped build your career might now be trying to break it is a kind of heartbreak only fighters like Davis truly understand.
Someone told Frank that I was running at 7 o'clock in the morning, Friday. He told Frank that. He was giving Frank tips and stuff like that. But I knew for sure that wasn't going to be enough to beat me. It's cool. It's all right. I don't really think too much of it. He's not going to hurt me. You know what I mean? So it's good to beef with him than be cool with him, because he can do some crazy stuff. He'll put you in bad situations.
Adding fuel to the fire, Mayweather recently teased an upcoming documentary packed with behind-the-scenes revelations, including moments involving Davis. Floyd suggested the footage would expose long-hidden truths, a move many see as a public airing of their fractured relationship. For Davis, it's not just another jab, it's a declaration that whatever bond they once had is officially over.
My documentary that's coming out, you guys gonna see 26 years of behind-the-scenes footage that you guys have never seen.
Calvin Ford, Davis's longtime trainer, didn't mince words when asked about Mayweather allegedly aiding Frank Martin. Floyd expressed clear frustration, saying that actions like these reveal a person's true character. Having seen Davis grow from the ground up, Floyd took the betrayal personally, and his reaction showed how much Mayweather's choices have shaken the entire camp.
The thing I want to touch on is the Floyd situation. You know, Floyd is Floyd. That's like I say, Tank is Tank, man. But at the end of the day, you know, the man is chasing greatness. And you should be supporting that. And I always tell you that. You should be supporting that, you know. It's a rocky road that we seeing what's going on. Just pay attention, man. The story is going to reveal itself. You know, but again, that's how you burn bridges. Somebody said this is the true colors of a person that's coming out, man. They can't stand it, you know. Calm is it. I mean, I don't like using that word calm, you know, but our Lord knows. He knows. He knows.
In a bold move, Davis recently spoke openly about his fight earnings, something previously kept under wraps by Mayweather Promotions. By exposing the financial imbalance he endured during that time, Davis made it clear that he's done staying silent. It was a turning point, marking his path toward independence and transparency, no longer bound by loyalty to an old system.
In a lose-lose situation now, what came out still on top. With Floyd, you said, what was the lose-lose situation? What you mean? It was a situation that he put me in to, make me lose, but he thought.
You talking about like a boxing match or?
Yeah, boxing match.
Ooh, if you don't mind. If you don't want to, it's fine.
Joseph Pedraza, my first world title. I was 16-0. I was 21 at the time, and I haven't fought in like 7 or 8 months. And around that time, I wasn't making that much money. I probably was making like $10,000 a fight. So 6 months is crazy to not fight, So when they came back and it was like, all right, you gotta fight. He was like, you gotta fight this fighter, which is Joseph Pedraza. If you don't fight him, you're not fighting. You're sitting on the show. So I had to fight him. In the midst of all that happened, I got evicted. I had to sell my jewelry. So now, and remind you, I'm letting them boxers that you talking about, I'm putting them on game, letting them know what's going on. Like, see, this was happening. Like, you feel me? I'm letting these guys know. So when it be like people saying they want to fight me, it's
like, how could you, nigga? I was the one that was giving you game when I was going through it.
Yeah.
When I was at the lowest part of my career, I was telling y'all niggas how so you wouldn't have to get here. And now it's like betrayal almost.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think Floyd did that intentionally?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Why? After so much time, after I guess again, after what we think he helped you come into the game, he gave you the spotlight. Like, why would he try to diminish your career?
Because at that time, I don't want to go too deep into it because I don't want to bring up mine. But it was somehow that they were saying that I was messing with his daughter off of the fact that she kept Snapchatting me.
Okay.
She kept hitting me on the Snapchat. So they sent it to.
Davis hasn't stayed quiet about his shifting view of Floyd. He's openly admitted that Mayweather's private behavior didn't align with his polished public image. Davis now suspects that his drive to surpass Floyd's accomplishments may have triggered hidden resentment. The idea that his mentor felt threatened by his rise is painful, but for Davis, it now seems like the only explanation for Mayweather's recent moves.
People don't know what Floyd do. A lot of people don't know what Floyd. Everything that Floyd said right there, the chrome hardband, the Maybach, the lawyer shit, that was all in my post.
You posted that. You posted that. Oh wow.
Chrome bag.
Right.
Lawyer shit. Maybach.
Oh.
He said.
So you feel like it was a sub? Like he was subbing you? Like
he was going at me. He was going at me, and I knew for sure he was going at me. That's why I went at him. There's no reason for me to go at Floyd. Floyd don't never. He felt as though I'm at that point where I passed him. And I'm doing it at a young age. Like when Floyd was 29. You'll see, bro.
Yeah.
That deal that I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh, that's a part of it.
He don't know about that yet. But that's bigger than his deal.
Critics have long suggested that Davis's rise was tightly managed, with his opponents carefully selected to preserve his undefeated record. Some believe Mayweather orchestrated this narrative, avoiding high-risk fights to protect his investment. While Davis's talent is undeniable, many feel that his true greatness will only be proven when he consistently faces elite-level competition.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis is one of the most overrated fighters in the sport of boxing right now, and not because of his skills, but because of his resume, and resume does matter. In my opinion, he's a victim of what I call Terrence Crawford syndrome, where you have a really bad promoter who only wants you to fight in promotion fighters who you know that they can 100% beat. If Tank Davis wants to be great, he's going to have to fight one of the other champions in the two divisions that he fights in, 135 pounds and 140 pounds. I'm going to list off all the champions in those divisions and tell you if I think he can beat them or not. So first we got the only other full champion in 135 pounds, Shakur Stevenson. If they fought, I think Tank has a good chance of maybe knocking him out in the later rounds, but if I had to bet my house on it, I would say Shakur Stevenson would beat him in a close decision, and it would end up probably being a boring fight. But I think Shakur has the skills to beat Tank Davis over a long 12-round fight. Now we have Subriel Matias, who's a scary Terminator-like fighter who gives up the early rounds to come on later and drown you in those later rounds. But he's very stiff, and he doesn't have very good footwork at all. I think Tank Davis will probably, box his face off for most of the 12 rounds. There might be some trouble in the late rounds, but if Tank can stay out of trouble, I think this is one of the few champions that he would beat, but I don't think he would fight him. Now we have Pitbull Cruz, who Tank already beat by a close decision, and Tank beat him with a broken hand.
Mayweather built his image as a mentor to the next generation of fighters, and for years, his influence helped elevate Davis. He offered advice, visibility, and promotional power. But as time passed, Davis began seeking his own path, slowly stepping out of Floyd's shadow. What once looked like a perfect partnership has evolved into a quiet struggle for autonomy and identity.
Do you will come back to boxing?
Oh no. I'm not coming back to the sport of boxing. The sport of boxing was good to me. I was able to make a lot of smart investments on the outside, and I just want to help, like I said, the fighters that's up and coming. Like I was talking about, like Gervonta "Tank" Davis. I don't understand why he's not in the top 10 pound for pound. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, Benavidez. The list goes on. There's so many tough fighters out there. So many great young champions out there.
Even during their best years, Davis often felt overshadowed by Mayweather's ever-present spotlight. Floyd's dominance in the promotional space sometimes made it difficult for Davis to shine on his own terms. According to Leonard Ellerby, Davis was never contractually locked in, making it clear that his independence was always within reach. Davis is now determined to be more than a protege. He's ready to be his own man.
Some confusion. Is Tank a Mayweather Promotions fighter still? Is he not? What is his still his involvement with Mayweather Promotions, or is it just all still PBC, Al Heyman?
Yeah, Tank is not signed to Mayweather Promotions.
Okay. Gotcha.
He's not signed to Mayweather Promotions. His contract ran out, and that's fine.
Still
But as I always say, contracts don't define relationships.
In recent months, the strain between Davis and Mayweather has become impossible to ignore. Davis avoids direct shots at Floyd, but his tone and careful word choices suggest a deep change in perspective. Their once strong bond has deteriorated into distant jabs and unspoken frustrations, with both men quietly building new futures apart from their shared past.
He didn't know how good I was and how I would have handled the situation, so he just threw me out there. He was hurt. I mean, not even hurt. He was just bad. First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. How the fuck would you say Terrence Crawford should fight Benavidez? That don't make no fucking sense. He don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you. You don't never.
This will be next in line.
Is there like
last question, guys? Is there
like a love-hate for like
yeah,
the fighter?
Yeah, I love the fighter. Like, I ain't gonna lie, if he was like chill, like he'll be the smoothest. But he's not. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter. And my bad. And
you're good, man.
And he cause I don't want to say like he's just a scumbag, but it's like he's a great fighter, and sometimes he can be good, but it's like it's always I'm this.
Despite the fallout, Davis has never disrespected Mayweather's legacy. He often speaks with humility, acknowledging Floyd's impact on the sport and his career. Davis has made it clear he has no interest in challenging him in the ring. His respect is intact, but he refuses to live in anyone's shadow. Their relationship may be fractured, but the admiration, at its core, still lingers.
How would you fight Floyd in his prime? Like if you were to fight Floyd, like in
Don't
his prime,
fight him.
if you guys were both in the, yeah.
Don't fight him. I wouldn't fight him. I mean, Floyd was good. He was top tier. I mean, me, I feel as though I could compete with any top fighter. I'm not saying me going at Floyd, but I'm saying like I feel as though my skills. I feel like my skills, and not to take nothing from Floyd, but I feel like my skills can compete with anybody that ever laced up a boxing glove.
You're crazy to watch.
Davis has begun peeling back the curtain on how things really worked behind the scenes. He admitted that certain decisions felt orchestrated, that he was sometimes more of a marketing tool than a fighter with agency. He credits Mayweather for opening doors, but he's also ready to step through them on his own terms, with a focus on building his own name, his own way.
Floyd outdoing him. He always been like that. You know what I mean? So I gotta focus on what I'm focused on. He already did what he had to do, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Me, if I did what I like what he did in the sport, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be the same way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't follow him for like stand to himself and things like that. You know what I mean? But it's also a part of me type thing, like come back and help too. You know what I mean? So there's much love to the whole Mayweather promotion. You know what I mean? Ain't no bad blood type shit. And a lot of people think like when I be tweeting on Instagram, I be mad. I just be talking.
Mayweather frequently reminds the public of his influence on Davis's success, and while that's partly true, it's also been a source of friction. Davis is determined to be seen as a fighter who earned his place through grit and talent, not just as someone carried by a mentor. Floyd's continued narrative, though perhaps well-intentioned, sometimes leaves Davis feeling like a footnote in his own story.
Davis, he was a young kid, came up to me when he was a kid, wanted an autograph. I signed his phone for him and told him, "You'll be world champion someday, and I'll be your promoter." Years later, he was working with some people from our team, because our team is huge. We got guys in DC, Baltimore, Philly, New York, all around. He won a few fights. I think he was like 8 or 9-0. I told him, in under 24 months, you'll be world champion. Made the right moves, put him in the right position. He's a multi-millionaire now.
Absolutely.
He was a kid that couldn't even buy a bus ticket. Now he's a multi-millionaire.
Now, with all the personal drama behind him, Davis is focused on what matters most, his upcoming battle at Barclays Center against Lamont Roach. This isn't just a title fight, it's about proving he can rise above the noise and define his career on his own terms. The doubters will always be there, just as they were for the legends before him. Davis plans to silence them the only way he knows how, with his fists.
Prospering, and he's got a big fight coming up 3 weeks from now in the Barclays Center in New York, in Brooklyn, New York, against Lamont Roach, the 130-pound WBA champion, fighting for the 135-pound WBA championship. Now, Gervonta Davis put out a tweet and said, "This is greatness. Don't let anybody fool you or convince you otherwise." And I agree 100%. And I know that there are people that are going to come to this comment section and say, who did he fight? What did he do? Who did he fight? What did he do? If you pay attention to boxing long enough and you watch boxing long enough, you better believe you're going to hear that same question being said about every fighter in Gervonta Davis' situation.
That wraps it up for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates, because the story isn't over yet.